Hello there, and welcome back to my playthrough of Skull of the First Sin. Last time I had met with Vendrick, who was, kind of in shambles, to the surprise of no one. I gotta say, that moment when I, first got to Vendrick on my first playthrough, it was a pretty good moment. Because just from the way, the fact that we're in a crypt, I expected him to be dead, but for some reason I didn't actually expect him to be a giant shambling undead that you can actually attack. I actually did attack him there and aggroed him and got killed by him due to a glitch. Where if you attack him immediately after you kill Velstadt, sometimes, but not all the times, I'm not exactly sure what triggers it. But some of the time he won't have the huge defense boost, so you can do significant damage and aggro him immediately. And if you want to kill him without going through the hassle of getting all the giant souls, that's the best way to go about it. First of all, I gotta choose a ring. I don't really need the bracing knuckle ring since I'm using a weapon, the Mastodon Greatsword, with good durability. Let's go with the blue tearstone ring. It could come in handy in a pinch. Anyway, right here, before I continue on to Aldia's, I'm going to take out the Throne Watcher and Defender. That is because I plan to summon Benhart for Nishandra, but if I leave them alive, I'll have to summon him for Throne Watcher and Defender, have him survive through that, and then have him survive through Nishandra. Or kill Throne Watcher and Defender, quit and reload, and then summon him for Nishandra. So either way, it's kind of a pain, so this is the best way to do it, I think. And when I head to Aldia's, I want to do Aldia's and both of the dragon areas in one straight go with no breaks in between. So for this episode, the first thing I'm going to be doing is taking out Throne Watcher and Defender. And then after this, I think I'll head to the Undead Purgatory, conquer that area, which shouldn't be too hard since I'm pretty over-leveled for it, and maybe do a PvP episode with the arena. Oh wow, that first hit missed me entirely, huh? Anyway, yeah, these guys, you want to keep your damage on them. You don't want to get hit by them, for one thing. For another thing, you want to keep your damage on them relatively even, this is especially true if you don't have particularly high damage output. So that way, when you kill one and the other goes and tries to heal it, you can take out the other one before it actually has a chance to heal the downed one. That's basically right there. That's basically how you want to take this fight, without getting hit a lot. But I'll blame the fact that I'm having to talk as a distraction for that. Damn it. Okay, I've got the Throne Defender. Oop, I might die here. Can I get away and get a heal off? Okay, good. So since I've got the Defender down to about half his HP, I'll take out the Watcher now since he or she has quite a bit of less HP, or less defense. Either way, he goes down quicker. And he's more aggressive, so he's a bit easier to take out. Yep, let him go through his combo and then attack because they have pretty long recoveries. That's why there's two of them, so one of them will interrupt you while you try to attack the other in their recovery, but if you time it right, you can manage. Okay, now I've got the second one with a buff, although the Defender should be running out of his buff sometime soon, I think. Let me draw them away from each other so I can actually get some... Yep, the Defender's buff ran out. So now he's a bit less of a threat. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, let's try and get some serious distance here. And then die. Okay, what I was trying to do was get some distance, turn the camera around, and see if one of them was chasing me, since one probably was. But I didn't do it quick enough to actually be able to roll to avoid his attack. So I think for this next attempt, I'm not going to be talking much, so that way I can actually concentrate on the fight. That's definitely made that fight a bit more difficult. Although it certainly doesn't help that I've never been the best at this fight in the first place. I know a lot of people think that this fight is really easy, and while I would agree with that, personally I've always had a bit of trouble with it for some reason. They're often compared negatively to ONS, but I'd actually find ONS, Ornstein and Smo, to be a bit easier, just because in their room, it's a big forgot about this Cyan Knight here. I'm just gonna let him do his thing and then heal and then run past. With ONS, you have a big room that has no pits, whereas in the Throne Watcher Defender room, there is a pit that you have to watch out for. Else you could end up backing into it. I think I've done that before, much to my chagrin. So not only that, but in the ONS boss room, you have a bunch of pillars that you can use to redirect them and to keep them from actually getting near to you. and that way you can divide them and pretty much make it a one-on-one fight if you handle yourself carefully. And that's not really possible in this fight because there's nothing physically separating uh, the two Throne Guardians. So even if you do manage to draw one away, the other one's probably going to follow after you pretty quick. And that's overall, I think, what makes this fight actually tougher than Ornstein and Smough, at least in my opinion. So first let me recover my souls in case I die horribly again. And then take him out. I think I have enough damage output that I can actually just take out the Throne Watcher and then whittle down the Throne Defender's HP before he can actually resurrect the Watcher, so I'm going to try that. Do I have a buff on my hotbar? I do. I'm also going to apply this for more damage. And then just heal through their attacks and be fine, because I have plenty of Estus. Estus is not a concern in this fight, it's whether I can actually get the space to heal. I said I wasn't going to talk, but now I'm talking and I'm still screwing up, so now let's actually try to go for a reveal. Okay, yeah, when one goes for buff, if you're a bit quicker on the uptake, then... Ooh, almost died there. If you're a bit quicker on the uptake than I am, you can actually go for a lot of damage, and in the case of the Watcher, I probably could have taken him out had I rushed to him immediately, but I didn't really manage to respond quick enough, unfortunately. That said, 2 more hits should kill him. Just wait for the right moment, don't get too overconfident, and I should be fine. Yep, nope. Okay, there you go. I took him out. Now I just gotta take out the Throne Defender, who I've already heard of it, so this should be extra easy. So if I can deplete his HP enough, I should be able to get him to go into the buff rather than trying to resurrect the Throne Watcher. Which means I'll just have all the time in the world to wail on him. Yep, there we go. And that's the fight over. Really, once you've got one of them down, as long as you have decent damage output, the other is not an issue at all. It's managing them both together in this, well, this completely flat arena that is the difficult part. And I got a lot of souls for that. That was like, what, 70,000? That's more than I expected. And I don't have any of the soul boosting items equipped either. Okay, so I'll go spend those souls, and then I'll meet you at the start of the Undead Purgatory path. Okay, so here I am back at the start of the path to the Undead Purgatory. I forgot that these guys can be fairly dodgy, although, yeah, look at it. I don't even really have to dodge them because they do no damage to me at this point. I'm just over-leveled to hell. Okay, I said that, but they do enough damage that if I really don't give a shit, they could still end up killing me, so... I do have to pay somewhat attention to what I'm doing. But yeah, so far they haven't changed anything on this path. There was the, I don't know what to call them. I think they're called Undead Torturers. I'll just, yeah, call them a Torturer. In the original version, there was a Torturer here and a Hollow to, distract you. He seemed to be a bit more aggressive. I remember before that you had to get to around at least here before the Torturer aggroed, which was kind of the purpose of the Hollow there. You'd rush for the Hollow and then get ambushed by the Torturer, and you wouldn't be in a pleasant position, especially if, you were doing this area when you're actually supposed to. I really shouldn't have put this area off until now. It just takes a pretty challenging area and makes it just kind of a cakewalk, but oh well. I think I put it off mainly because I didn't want to do an arena episode until I was properly leveled and could actually stand against the over-leveled and overpowered builds that you find in the arena, but really I should have just done this area and then saved the arena part specifically for later, but too late now. So they added that Torturer there, but that's not too much of a change. Looks like they haven't changed this, although it would be cool if Black Phantom enemies popped in at some point along this path. I'm just gonna say, like, one of the coolest things from the network test was when I got to this part, I got here and I saw on high a bunch of glowing Black Phantom enemies just atop all those places staring at me from on high, and it was a really cool look, and I found it a shame that in the original version and in this one, they've relegated the Black Phantom enemies to New Game Plus, which is unfortunate, I think. I feel there's not an issue with making this part very difficult because it is completely optional and for a PvP-focused Covenant, so like it should be a difficult area. It should be tough to get through, I find, but not a big deal, I guess. So yeah, no changes to this area, it seems, which is unfortunate. Kind of disappointing, since every other area has had huge changes, but so far the only one to this is the addition of an extra... I thought I heard something. Maybe that was not from the game, from real life. But anyway, as I was saying, the only change to this area so far is the addition of that one undead torturer along that path to the notch strip. Otherwise, everything's been the exact same. Oop, missed that. I was expecting them to, like, ambush me, like maybe I'd walk this way and some enemies would spawn behind me or something interesting like that, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And at this point, there's not much before the boss. And the... Oop, hello, where did you come from? Okay, so maybe they did add something. I did not see you at all. And it doesn't seem that you aggled until I actually walked across the bridge, so there is... I guess they did add one enemy in order to ambush you, but... all in all, that's not much of a change. Then again, I'm also going to be more blasé about it since, as I said, I'm over-leveled, so it makes what probably would have been a challenging area, especially with the few new additions, into just a complete cakewalk, so yeah. I'm going to view it in a different light because of that. And yeah, it's like the beginning of the area with the bonfire there. And an easy drop to the small token thing, whichever one it is. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. The thing that gets you into the Brotherhood of Blue. So if you don't want to make the jump from near the bonfire, that's an easy way to drop down to it. And yeah, so far it seems the only changes they've made were that one torture along the path to the notched whip and that one that was wielding the whip that came after me. Oh, and where the hell did you hollows come from? They must have been hanging from the bridge, but... well, that is a change, that's not much of a one. Yeah, so far the changes to this area are just kind of disappointing. Now, watch as I die horribly to this platforming. It's kind of like a 50-50 whether or not I make this, so... okay, good. Making it the way back is usually easier. I think in the original there was an Estus flask shard there, not that that would help me here. An Estus flask shard and a fire seed, if I'm not mistaken. So they took away the Estus flask shard, which doesn't really matter at this point since I already have max. And yep, here we get the great sword and Orma shield, the Reeve shield, one of those two, wielding Black Phantom. It was pretty cool in the network test. I'm gonna try parrying him, just because that's pretty difficult, I say, as I get a parry. Like, if he does anything other than the R1, it's tricky to parry him. But yeah, not a problem. Okay, so let's take down the boss. There shouldn't be any issue. Just top off on HP. Yeah, I shouldn't need to use a buff. I should be able to one-shot the skeletons regardless. That is one thing I'm wondering about here, is maybe they didn't make many changes up to the boss, but maybe they changed the boss arena quite a bit, since this is a boss arena that is more like a bit of a level than an arena. But with the fact that you've got the skeletons and the necromancers constantly resurrecting them that you gotta take out before the actual boss. So let's see if they actually made any changes to that. Yep, you got the skeletons there, as always. Get the first necromancer here, yeah. And yeah, you can just roll through the chariot guy if you have good timing and or good iframes. And at that point, if you can manage to do that, then this fight is just a complete joke, because you can just run past all of the skeletons, roll through the chariot, and watch as they get crushed, and just take out the necromancers, and then you're pretty much golden. Like, once you've got rid of the necromancers, you can pretty easily take out the skeletons. And once you take out the skeletons, the boss is just a complete joke. even if you come here when you're not overleveled. Okay, that looks to be all the skeletons that are aggroed for me currently, so I'm gonna wait for them to pass by, flip the switch, and then buff, and then I'll just go ham on the horse. The only other thing I have to say about this boss is I do like the fact that it is the executioner's chariot. It is not the executioner that is the boss, but the chariot itself, the horses that are carrying it, and that's why when you actually flip the switch, you notice the executioner and his little chariot seat thing are completely gone. You're actually just fighting the horse. It is the horse that is the actual threat, which is pretty neat. Overall, this is probably one of the more interesting boss designs, and a good choice for the boss, one of the bosses in the for the network test when they did that. Uh-oh. I said this was easy, but I nearly die anyway because of my mistimed swings, but still got through it in the end. Alright, so looking at the recording, it's about 20 minutes, and if I cut out the stuff I said I would, which I probably will, I'm not that lazy to not do that, then it'll probably be even shorter. So rather than making this its own episode and then doing a PvP episode in the arena, I think I'll have that be just one long episode. So this video will probably end up being an hour long, with all the rest of the footage from now on to the end of this video being PvP. So if you're not interested in that, you can quit out now if you want. But before I get to that, I'm gonna go... Actually, I'm not gonna go back to Majula and spend these souls. I'll spend these on items that Twitchy Gren has. He has a number of useful items that are quite expensive. And yep, you get to sit through the multiple yes confirmations. And about Twitchy Gren's voice. Originally, I didn't like it compared to the network test, but as I listened to him, it really grew on me, and in the end, it is a much better voice. The network test voice is just sort of a typical, like, dark and edgy fantasy character, whereas this one actually sounds like the actual kind of dude that would be like sexually gratified by violence and bloodshed. So it's a lot more fitting. There we go, the Crest of Blood, which is nice should I ever decide to try and do a bleed build gimmick. If I do, I'll probably make a separate character for that, actually. We'll see. But yeah, a bunch of stuff to buy. You can buy the Skeleton Lord's armor or the Executioner's armor. I'll probably buy that at some point. For now, I believe the Delicate String, when equipped, just provides the same effect as the Dried Finger and the evil tokens that you get for killing people and when you invade them. So it's not a bad thing to have, but it's not really necessary. What I definitely want is the red sign for duels. Ooh, I don't remember if he originally sold any red orbs in New Game in the original version. I mean, it's limited in quantity, you only get 5, but still, I think that is a change, and not a bad one, giving people on New Game the ability to invade without having to go through the arena. And then, yeah, here's what I really want, another Great Combustion and Fire Whip, both fantastic pyromancies. And I might as well take another copy of Firestorm, too. I suppose I'll purchase the Great Scythe, even though it's not a great weapon in this game, and I should have enough for most of one of these armor sets, so I definitely want the Executioner armor. It's kind of like, the way it looks makes me think of what characters in Fist of the North Star wear, or Mad Max, that sort of setting. So go with that, the leggings, and that's all I can buy. I could buy some of this, but
Come back soon.
So yeah, let's change up my pyromancies. Warmth isn't really necessary in duels, so I'm not gonna go with that. And also I'm gonna change up the order, I think. Can I just empty these? Yeah, there we go. So I think I'll go with 2 Great Combustions, so I have plenty of casts of that. Actually, no, let's go for variety. 1 Great Combustion, 1 Fire Whip, and 1 Firestorm. That should leave me set for PvP. And as for my rings, these are all good ones for PvP, so I'll keep them equipped. Do I have any better arrows? Yes, elemental ones are the best because they have a high amount of elemental damage and some physical, which completely eclipses the iron arrows, and especially the wooden arrows. So let's go with fire since I have the most number of those, and let's actually change up what I have on my hotbar. Don't need a homeward bone. Don't need either of these since you can't heal with them in the arena, since they patched that a while ago. That was one of the earlier things they patched, I think. Definitely want a buff, definitely want throwing knives and fire bombs. I guess I'll just add poison moss in case I run into any poison build gimmicks and actually manage to get myself poisoned. And that should be good, I think. So let's get some duels, and hopefully it won't take too long between them. I don't know how active the PvP is on the PS4. I hope it's decent. I figure it ought to be just because I feel like a decent amount of people would end up buying the PS4 version of this because they ended up buying a PS4 for Bloodborne, so let's hope that remains true. But it looks like the wait times are going to be a bit, so in that case I'll probably cut out the time between invasions since like it's not very interesting watching me sitting here, so see you when I get my first match. Alright, and I got my first match pretty soon after I said that into fucking Drizzt name. Oh, that's good. Fucking Dark Elves. Okay. Well, so let's see what this guy has going for him. Ooh, a dual cestus spell. That's dangerous if he knows how to use it properly, if he knows how to do the roll cancel punch, so... Oh, nope, I mistook him. He has the, Dragonbone Fist. Alright, it looks like he has a Cestus Power Stance, Regular Fist Weapon Power Stance, but the, Dragonbone Fist in the offhand so he can do some of the moves with it, like the running attack. Alright, I'm gonna... Oop. Yeah, ooh, okay. I might die here. I could go for a parry. In fact, let me go for a quick switch. Do I have the... Oh, I don't have the red tear stone ring, never mind. He's going for a back... Yep, okay, I knew that. So I managed to avoid that, and... Yeah, there we go. I figured he would get caught by that. And I can get a couple hits here. I did poorly at the beginning here, but... and combo, nice. And thankfully he backed off. If he went for an attack, he could have finished me off there, but he was too afraid, or maybe he didn't have the stamina. Now all I gotta do is, like, I think one throwing knife should finish him. Ooh, I was close. Okay. I can't see. Oh dear. I could actually end up dying here. Ooh. Oh, that's close. As you can see, I'm quite rough with the PvP. Oh, I'm dead. Yep. I should have rolled forward. I fell for that like 3 times. That was embarrassing. Oh, I'm still getting, what's the word? I don't know. Still getting used to the PvP after having not done it in a while. I did do that PvP episode in the Belfry, but most of the people there weren't, like, clearly weren't all that good at the PvP, so I was able to do decently well there. Even despite my lack of recent experience. And ooh, another duel immediately. Maybe that first spell was just because, I don't know, I was waiting. Like maybe because I got on there, I was like put down far on the duel queue. Or something, I don't know. I have no idea how the matching works in this game. Oh yeah, hopefully quick duels will be the norm and not the exception. Okay, so where are you gonna show up? Are you gonna show up behind me? You're gonna show up on the opposite side? Ah, Spellcaster. Ooh, Spellcasters are dangerous since I'm not used to dodging their spells. I don't remember the timings exactly. Okay, got that. Don't want to let him get away and cast it again. Okay, now he's got a hit there. Ooh, almost managed to catch him out of the roll there. Let's try and go for a parry. Bait him in like this. Oh, okay. He tried to bait me, I guess. Well, he thought I was going for a running attack. I could have gone for a parry there, but I was too afraid. Now he's got the combo there. He got a hit, but that's perfectly fine, because that did nothing. Tried to lock onto him. Come on, it's not gonna work. Ah, I was hoping he'd go for another R1 and I could get a sick parry off of him. Let's try and finish him off with Fire Whip. He rolled much too early. Actually, if he actually rolled at a decent time, had he just rolled again immediately, and I think he had enough time. Although maybe he didn't have enough stamina, I'm not sure. But if he had just rolled a second time, he would have avoided at least most of it. He might have gotten hit by a few hits, but I think he would have survived. But because he didn't roll again and he tried to go for the punish, he ended up getting hit by the full brunt and died. Yeah, generally if you're at low health and someone's using Fire Whip or any sort of pyromancy, you want to be a bit cagey, a bit cautious. Just because, you know, you don't exactly know what spell they're going to use, and if you screw up your dodge time, you're going to die in one hit. So you want to try to feel them out and figure out what pyromancies they're likely to use. So that way you're more likely to successfully dodge, and then you can go for the punish. Ooh, I like this guy. I haven't been... Oh, how do you... I keep forgetting how to use gestures. Okay. And he's gonna... Oh, he didn't attack. I expected him to follow it up with a bowling attack. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna work. You can't get backstabs like that in this game. That's a Dark Souls trick. This guy is very defensive. Overly so. Oop. I backstepped a bit too late. Had I done it a bit early, I could have gone for the parry. Okay, well, this guy's kind of bad. Oop. Very close. Good thing I read that and rolled in time. Another backstep attempt? I keep confusing backstab with backstep. God damn it. Let's try for Firestorm. Yeah, there we go. As long as you can turn away from like where you think they're gonna be, so you can make it take longer for them to be able to get a backstab, then Firestorm is a pretty effective spell to use, especially when they're at low HP. But even if they're not, as long as they do end up getting hit, they'll take a decent chunk of damage, and they'll probably be knocked flat on their ass, and by the time they get up, you'll have gotten up from the casting animation, and so they won't be able to punish you. Come on, quick duel, quick duel, quick duel. Ah, come on, game, you're killing me. Okay. If it ends up being a long wait, I'll cut it. Okay, that actually wasn't that long of a wait. Shorter than I expected. So let's see, I've had 2 matches so far, and they were both unique people. Well, no, three matches, and they were all unique people, so let's see if that continues to hold true. Okay, no, was this the guy I just fought, or was it the earlier guy? I don't remember. I'll remember when I actually see his build. I remember builds more easily than I do names. Although if I see a person enough, I will, like, start to recognize their name on sight. Okay, yeah, it was the guy I just fought. Let's wave to him. What you doing? You're putting on a gesture? Oh, you changing up your gear? Trying to change strategy? Not a bad idea. Ooh, if he had been a bit closer, that Godbike would have landed. And yeah, he went for the plunging attack, which was not good. Can I hit him here? Okay, he actually dodged. Nice. So wait, what does he have? I thought he had a halberd, but does he actually have a twin blade? Okay, yeah, he has the Dragon Rider twin blade. I give him props. I give him props for using that. That's a rare weapon to see. Ooh, try to get me there, but failed with his timing. Ah, oh, I was hoping he would go for an attack there. Okay, nice. Oh, but the damage is not with him. Okay, wow, this guy is like really like defensive to a fault, really. Like being a bit defensive is good, but he's so defensive that he's not even taking any opportunities to attack me. Of course, it did save him there. Had he been more offensive, he might have gone for a second R1, and that would have got him parried. Okay, he's going for the move cancels. Yeah, I don't think he's taking this really seriously. He's just being a goof, which is fine. Ah, almost got him. Yeah, and he got the backstab, but as it is, I don't really have to fear that because that does shit damage. If you're using any of the twin blades, especially the Dragon White one, you really want to use Rob Flynn with that to maximize your damage. Let's try and finish him off with a firebomb. Nope. Got him once. I think one more should be enough. No backstab for you. One more. That was silly but fun. It's nice when you encounter people like that in the arena. I wonder if that's just good luck on my part, or if the arena on PS4 is actually decent. That is possible. Like maybe all the tryhards are sticking to the PC version. Yeah, okay, do immediately. Hopefully it's a new person. I did like fighting that guy, but fighting the same people over and over does tend to get a bit boring, even if they happen to provide interesting matches. Variety is the spice of life, after all. So hopefully this is a new person. Oh, it is, and SA Town 13. I wonder if he's a goon or not. Probably not, but you never know. I do remember encountering a couple goons while PvPing on the PC version, so it's not out of the question here. So what? Ooh, this guy is aggressive. He's going for like an assassin type build, it looks like. So I want to avoid getting... Ooh, he's going for a poison build, so I'm going to get that poison moss quick slotted in case he does poison me. Ooh, and he's good with his rolls there, so he knows how to avoid that spam. And, yep, spam there. Let's go for 3 hits. Oh, he managed to... Yeah, okay, I failed there. Let's try and go for the slightly delayed R1. Oh. I am not doing good. Great Combustion? Ooh, this guy is actually pretty good. Either that or I'm just being bad against the daggers. One of the two. Yeah, there we go. His over-aggressiveness hurt him there. Being over-aggressive is just as bad as being overly defensive, really. Each of those tactics has a time and a place, and just sticking to one is gonna hurt you more than it does help you. Please don't... Okay, good, he's what... I thought he was gonna cast Warmth and we were gonna have one of those fights, which I generally don't enjoy. Oh, come on, dude, you really fell for that? Let's finish him off with a throwing knife. GG. I'm having a lot of fun. I expected myself to be doing a lot worse. As it is, I really haven't run into any of the try-hard builds, over-leveled builds, or people just, trying their hardest to win. I already said that, didn't I? But you know what I mean. People that aren't terribly fun to fight, especially with a non-optimized build like mine. I'm not at 150 and I don't have particularly high HP. So yeah, I expected myself to do a lot worse, but so far, all of the fights have been at least okay. And if they've been, like, the worst of them have just been that just because the people weren't particularly good, rather than, like, especially annoying to fight, so far it's been pretty fun. Alright, let's see if this guy learned his lesson, and if he'll approach me better. Actually, I want to try and go for a great sword parry with this guy. Well, now he probably knows what I'm going for, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay, he's good with his rolls, I'll give him that. He knows the timing. Okay, he's not gonna fall for the parry trick, okay. I'm surprised he didn't manage to get a backstab there, really. Okay, let's go up to him and then use a poison moss so I can clear that. Oh, that ended up screwing me over there. Okay, that's why he hasn't poisoned me. Only one of his daggers is actually poison, it looks like. Which is pretty stupid. If you go in for a poison gimmick, you have both be poisoned so you can actually get the build up. Okay, this guy isn't as bad as I thought. Come on. You can come after me. Fire Whip is so good. You have to dodge really precisely in order to avoid it. As is Great Combustion. If you can get the spacing just right against an aggressive opponent, you can make it so that as they attack you, you still end up getting the Great Combustion off, so you end up trading. And unless they have like a super OP buffed weapon or something, then you're going to win the trade. Great Combustion does a lot of damage, especially if you manage to get a counter hit. As you saw, it did like, what, 510, which was probably like 40% of his HP. Ooh, another duel. Hopefully it's someone else. That guy was not bad to fight, but once again, fighting the same person over and over does get boring. So far I've encountered 4 unique people. Was it 5? 4 or 5. In like 20-ish minutes. So that's not actually that bad. 1 unique person every 5 minutes. And I'm getting like duels. Like I only have to wait at most like a minute, so far pretty lucky, I think. Okay, so okay, I'm pretty sure that R1s of the Great Sword are supposed to have a true combo, so I wonder if they altered that. Okay, see there I got it. So maybe it was a positioning thing. He was positioned such that the hit didn't actually hit him. Ooh, until he had recovered and was able to roll. That can happen. Let's finish him off with a throwing knife. Oh, it's always fun to do. He's got a bit of an odd weapon combination. He's got poison, bleed. Since they have both poison and bleed, they must be, whatchamacallit, bandit knives that are infused with poison, which those are a pretty poor weapon. If you're gonna go poison, you want... Well, actually, as far as daggers go, I don't think those are that bad. Since you can't poison infuse Mytha's Bent Blade. So yeah, maybe that's not as bad of a choice as I thought. I'm not sure. But either way, poison daggers aren't the best way to apply poison in the first place. And then, as a backup, he has a slow weapon that's arguably inferior. Actually, no, it is inferior to a bunch of the other Great Hammers. It's just like it has the same moveset as a number of the other ones, but less damage. So, bit of an odd weapon combination there. Alright, this guy's got a great sword and a parrying dagger, so I'm gonna have to watch out for that. Yeah. Come on there, you have the parrying dagger, that means you're going to parry, it means I'm gonna expect you to, like, go for baits and shit, so, like, I'm gonna be watching out for that. Ooh, but I might die anyway, okay. It's another red tearstone ring, so no use switching to that. God damn it. Okay, GG, sir. I got too caught up on avoiding their parry attempts that when they went aggressive I didn't react properly. In that case, the last hit, I misjudged the range of the jumping attacks. That's something I'm going to have to get used to. The range is a bit further than the actual weapon model due to, lag. It's not too much more, but it is enough more that I actually have to actively remember that and get used to that if I'm going to be good at PvP, so... losing there was not a bad thing. It taught me a lesson. Or I relearned a lesson, rather. So, yeah. Another new guy, another mage. This isn't the same mage as before, is it? No, this is a Hexer with the... Ooh, Ice Rapier. This is the first sort of try-hardy person I fought. Well, actually, no, that's either the Scorpion Sting or the Espada Opera, so I take that back. Okay, I'm not gonna fall for that, buddy. Oh. Let's get back on the arena here. Can I catch him with this? Nah, this guy knows what he's doing. So that's gonna be a difficult fight. Delay attack? Nope, delayed it. I didn't delay it enough. Come on. Go for something. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm doing kinda terrible here. Parry? Ooh, smart. I'm dead. Ugh. I'm probably gonna die here. Yep. Oh well, GG. So that's what? That's like 8 wins, I think, and 2 losses? Maybe like 6 or 7 wins and 2 losses. So I'm like at about 5 as far as the ranking up goes. Yeah, I definitely could have done better in that fight. Let's actually get... Okay, I'm going to replace the blue tier stone ring, since so far I don't think it's come in handy with this, so I have a bit more equip load. And then I'm going to trade out the bow for another weapon. A lighter one like the rapier. Actually, do I have the rapier fully upgraded? I do not, so let's go for the Uchi Katana. It's not too heavy, and it's a good weapon to use with the Mastodon Greatsword. It's fast and has good damage. Especially if you manage to get counter hits. If I had had that, I think I would have done much better against the guy with the rapier. Yeah, that's another important thing in PvP is really having 2 weapons that complement each other. So that way if you have a poor weapon matchup against someone, you can switch to another weapon and hopefully be a bit better. So which guy was this? This was, oh, the Greatsword one. So let's switch to the Katana and just see if I can't wreck them, since this weapon is kind of a hard counter to Greatswords. Yeah, see what I mean? And yeah, now I know to avoid that. Ooh, smart there. I should have gone for the running attack earlier, or backstep attack earlier. I would have actually hit them there. Alright. Yep, there we go. Now all I need to do is get 1 more counter hit or 2 regular hits and I should be good. Okay, I found that particularly amusing. Oh, no you don't. Okay, now I'm just gonna be a dick and just spam throwing knives until you die, or I die. Either one is possible. See, basically, if you do anything other than dodge, you're gonna get hit, so it's not looking very good for you. This is why you should always have a quick weapon to switch to when someone's being a dick like this. Okay, he can block, but he's still gonna take damage and die eventually, so it's not gonna be an effective strategy for a long time. See, now he's gone back to rolling, because he knows he's gonna die if he takes a couple more daggers, even if they're blocked. Come on, all I'm doing is spamming them. If you can get close, you can probably get in a hit and, like, get my HP down and possibly get a victory. Well, you could do that. That there, it looked a bit glitchy. You noticed that the throwing knife did full damage, even though it looked like he blocked it and it even made the block sound. That's a bit of lag, where him lowering his shield will coincide with my attack hitting, such that it is an actual attack that does full damage. It doesn't hit him when he's actually blocking, but his model doesn't have enough time to actually show him putting the shield down. So it still ends up looking like it hits the shield and makes the sound, even though it was a clean hit. So that's why that did full damage, even though it looked like it was blocked. I figured I'd explain that, since if you're not too experienced with PvP, that can look a bit odd. Okay, so we've got Mr. Dagger Dude again. Let's see if I can't kill him really quickly with the katana, since this should be much more effective against him. Yep, got a hit there, and rolled, and... Oh, that was hilarious. As I said, there is a reason katanas are one of the more loathed weapon classes. Even the weaker ones, like the basic Uchi Katana, can be really strong if you know how to use them. That said, I do find the particular ire that people have for them a bit odd, because in none of the games are the katanas as a whole particularly OP, at least in comparison to other strong weapon types. Like, in Demon Souls, they're good, but beyond being able to infinitely stunlock people via sort of like a, I guess, glitch, exploit, whatever, they're not particularly amazing, and I believe you can actually get yourself out of that infinite stunlock if you know what you're doing as well. In Dark Souls, none of them are, like, they're all pretty balanced. Dark Souls 2, they're arguably OP with the Chaos Blade, but the rest I think are fairly well balanced. And I'd still say straight swords are a stronger weapon class, even though they don't get as much hate. Oh, he took off his buff. That's interesting. Maybe he thought that's what my hesitance was for, but that's not exactly what I meant, so... Ooh, failed that back. He tried to go for that pseudo combo with the black steel, but he didn't have his positioning right. Come on. You're not gonna catch me with that. I know how to use that weapon, bud. Try to go for some pyromancy. Alright, I'm out of stamina now, so if he does... Okay, if he had been more aggressive, he could have gotten a free hit there because I ran out of stamina, but he failed to capitalize on that moment of opportunity. Okay, let's actually try... I want to go for a Firestorm finish, so let's tighten him up a bit more with some throwing knives, or maybe a regular weapon hit. Alright, there we go. Oh, I ran out of stamina. That was my mistake. My bad. I managed to capitalize on that. I'm dead. Oh, he could have finished... He could have followed that up with an R2 and killed me there, but he made that mistake. So let's see if I can't punish him for that by killing him. I should not have gone for that Firestorm. He managed to get a counter hit and really, like, just destroy me there. Okay, I expected him to go for that follow-up R2 and then I would have punished, but he's smart enough about that. He knows that he has to be careful. Okay, now he's going for the throwing knife, so I have to watch out for that. If I get a running attack well timed, I should be able to get him. Nope, I'm dead. Okay, nope. Uh-oh. What? Okay, there's a bit of lag. Hopefully that was... Uh-oh. Okay. I don't know how this is gonna end. Oh, I'm dead. Yep. Okay, our connection went really haywire there. If I had realized that a bit sooner, I really should have, based on the way that he was acting, then, I could have just spammed him and probably finished him off before he could finish me off, but... Yeah, basically, if you have, like, the connection just turning sour like that, whoever realizes that first is pretty much going to be the one who wins, because they can start applying the damage first, and that damage will be, will go through before yours does, and you'll die. At least that's how it usually ends up working out for me. I hope I end up getting a duel with them again. I need to restore my honor. Losing when I have the katana is very dishonorable, you see. Although, he was also using a katana, so I suppose you could have that as be an honorable samurai duel. I don't know if that would be dishonorable to lose or not. To lose to another samurai. Okay, so enough bullshit. Got Jill this time. That wasn't the person I just fought. Was it? As I said, I have a real hard time remembering other people's names. Oh, this was the Great Sword Lady. Yep. So, let's see if I can't kill them quickly again. Yep. They tried to go for the parry, but mistimed it, so I was able to get the backstab. Had they rolled, they would have avoided it. Uh-oh. I wonder if there's something happening with my connection. There's been a bit of a lag, a bit of lag recently. Hopefully that's not going to continue to remain true. Although I have recorded for a bit, so I'm probably going to stop soon anyway. There we go, nice combo. It's a perfectly timed throwing knife. And yep. See, that is a tactic that is actually very good with the Great Sword, is to go for the first R2, which is the upward swing that's slow purely as a bait, and then when the other person runs in and tries to punish you, you follow up with the follow-up R2, which will end up cleaving through them, probably getting a counter hit and doing a ton of damage, if not just completely murdering them. That is a good strategy to use with the greatsword, but your timing has to be perfect, or otherwise, as you see, they'll end up getting hit by it, by whatever the opponent does. So this is an entirely new person, and I don't get what's with these weird-ass names. Like, I guess maybe it's an alternate account, but that would require another PlayStation Plus subscription, so I doubt that. I really don't know why you would choose a name like that. Like, that is such an ugly name, but yeah. So this guy's got a spear or a halb. I think that's a spear. Probably the hide one, which he buffed. So it'll do quite a bit of damage if it hits, assuming he has decent stats. Decent faith, rather. Okay, I should... Let's see if this strategy works. I'll go in with a running attack and then follow up with a guard break. Okay, I wasn't able to get that out quick enough. I was hoping to guard break his shield poke. So instead... Okay, I tried for the run around backstab. I forget what that's called. I think it's called a pivot stab. Yeah, that's what the technique is called, but I've never been very good at them. So let's just, he's gonna probably attack again. Nope, he actually was smart enough to roll there. Okay, this guy is not the best, but he's certainly not bad. He's a bit spammy, as you can see here. Oh, I tried to do a jumping attack there, and it totally would have hit him, but I failed the input. And there we go, I won that trade, although still probably shouldn't have traded in the first place, really. But with how low HP I have. That was a mistake. I'm dead. Damn it. I shouldn't trash talk people or say they're anything other than excellent PvPs, because then I'll die. Yeah, I made the mistake there. I should have let my stamina recover more. Because I ran out of stamina, I wasn't able to react in time and roll. Unless he was able to get off the R1 combo with his spear and finish me off. Never get overconfident in PvP. If you do, you're probably going to end up dying. Because you'll leave yourself all sorts of openings for your opponent to take advantage of. Okay, it's nearing an hour this episode, and even with the cuts, it'll probably end up being like 50-ish minutes, I'm guessing, so... I'll go for a few more matches, and this is an entirely new guy, so let's see what he has going for him. A spellcasting build. So it's good that I have a fast weapon. I'll be able to interrupt his spellcast attempts if I time... Oh god. Oh, of course, he's lagging like hell. Fuck. In this case, there's nothing to do other than to just R1 spam and hope I manage to kill him before he kills me. Case in point, look at that shit. Okay, well, if that finishes me off, then GG. I thought the lag was still continuing, but it seemed to be just a momentary thing, so he was actually able to, with the lag gone, he was able to properly get a parry. So good on him for that. I might end up losing here. Unless I play this exactly right. I should have delayed my attack a bit more, and I might have, or done a jumping attack, and I probably would have hit him out of his roll. Oh! Okay. Okay, there is definitely a bit of lag here. It's probably on my end since it's been in a couple of matches, and yep, he made the same mistake I did. I feel like I might have only gotten the hit there because of the lag. I feel like he should have had enough time to actually roll. Although it is possible that he just failed to press the button in time. I do that occasionally where I know what I need to do, but I'm not able to actually react fast enough by pressing the buttons in order to do it, and I end up dying as a result. So yeah, I'm thinking one more match and then that'll be it for today. So yeah, so far, I mean, not just so far, but the arena has been very good, much more than I expected. I expected to face as I said, like either massively over leveled builds or builds that are super try hard optimized to make sure that they win, and there doesn't seem to be any of that here, at least from what I've seen, and that's very heartwarming. It means that I can actually get fun duels. And recently, my last couple matches have been with people good at PvP, so yeah, fun times. Alright, so my last match will be with this guy. Let's see if I can kill him again or if I'll get his revenge. I expected that to be the homing soul arrow, not the regular soul arrow. It's not a spell yet that you often see in PvP. Okay, I should have done that early, and now he's gonna get the combo. Oh, maybe he didn't have enough stamina. He must not have. I tried to go for the backstep into katana parry, but parrying with the hilt parry is difficult. It has very poor parry frames. Okay, so now he's tightened up. Look at that, 900 damage with 2 attacks. Even though I think straight swords are better, katanas are still very good. And you see right there, why I managed to hit him was something that catches me on occasion as well, is when I'll either two-hand my weapon or one-hand a weapon that I'm two-handing at just the right time that the enemy's attacking, and basically you have some recovery frames after you actually switch stances. And so basically if your opponent attacks at the right time, even if they're not predicting what you're going to do, they're guaranteed to end up getting the hit. And that's what happened there to him. And I said that would be my last fight, but I automatically sat back down. That is a bad habit I got into, and I'll say, oh, that'll be the last match for tonight, and then an hour later, and I'm still PvPing, so this fight here, this is going to be the last match, I guarantee it. Cross my fingers and hope to die, pinky in the eye, other childhood pinky swear rhymes. And yeah, it's with this guy, so he has one more chance for honor redemption. Alright, so let's switch to the Great Sword since I've just been using the Katana. Give him a bit of a better chance since he has a faster weapon. So he's got his Pyromancy out, so let's see if he can put that to effective use. So, already switched back to his shield. Don't use a shield like that in PvP, it's so dumb. Case in point, that's why it's dumb. And can I go for another? Well, should have just gone for the Great Combustion Wake Up. I was hoping he would try to defend. And hit him out of his roll with the well-timed R1. And throwing knife finish. Oop. He watched out for that. There we go. GG, sir. Okay, yeah, so that is enough for this episode. So, thanks for watching, I guess, and see you next time.